Hi, this is Doug Gallagher again, still at the Grand Canyon, and this topic, you know, I want to help you make it through a sales presentation the best possible way you can. Okay, so the question is, how do I act at a sales presentation? What do I do? Because sometimes they can give you some pretty nice things, pretty enticing things, just to watch their presentation. And I know they say an hour and a half, and that's usually at least 2 hours. Okay, so just figure 2 hours. If you do what I say, you have the better chance of making that the hour and a half. Okay, you can bring it down. The first thing that they're offering you a reward to see the presentation. All a salesman ever wanted to do was tell their story. So they're paying you to let them tell you their story. So don't feel bad about taking this gift and not buying, because you paid for this gift when you listened to their story. It has nothing to do with whether you liked their story. Okay? So get in the mindset like that. You don't want to feel obligated. There's no reason to feel obligated. Okay? You did your thing. The first thing that I would say is you're gonna have to expect your salesman and 1 or 2 closers. Okay, your salesman will take it as far as he can, then he'll turn it over to a closer, and then sometimes there's a closer, a second closer. That's okay, as long as you keep your cool and just minimize the time. Some of those second closers can be quite fast if you say the right thing. The main thing to do, be polite, be nice, listen to the presentation, the main presentation. But once that presentation is through, then you make sure to clearly tell them, you know, this has been great for some people, this probably would be great, but it's not for me. I really don't have any interest at any price in buying this timeshare. As soon as you start going into reasons, you're giving them the right to overcome your objection, it's called. So if you say, I can't afford it, well, now you've opened a whole big thing. They're going to now give you a new presentation about a slightly lower product, maybe less points. Since it's a point based, it'll be less points. And then they're going to give you all the figures, and you have to sit through all that because you invited them by saying that you couldn't afford that. Instead, what you want is you want to make sure that it's clear that you don't want it at all, and that'll help you get through that process. I had a friend who he used to go to Vegas a lot, and every time he went to Vegas, he would stop at a place where he'd get a presentation. He'd get a free show to do a presentation, and those shows can cost a lot of money. So he would go in, and his wife was willing. My wife is not, so I can't do any of that. I love you, but she does not want to have to go through that. So what he would say, he actually lives in a rural area with horses, and so he says to the people right after they're through, he says, you know, this is very nice. This is a very nice thing. What do you do with the horses? And they look at him and they said, what do you mean, what horses? Well, I don't go anywhere without my horses. Whenever I vacation with my horses. So where do I put the horses? And they don't know how to deal with that. That never came up to them. Okay? But you don't really have to give them a reason. The best thing to do is be polite, but be firm. Now, as soon as I've had presentations where they understood, they accepted. I mean, if you were going to tell them something, you could say something like, "Oh, I have a friend that rents them, and he rents any timeshare I want for $595 to $695. I don't have to buy anything. I don't have to use it if I don't want. Why would I want to buy a timeshare?" You could say that, but that's probably going to give them another reason. The best thing to say is, "I've listened to your presentation, and now I would like my gift, and I'd like to go." And that you just stick with that. You don't say anything else, and it'll be quicker. And you'll get through there, and you'll say, "Okay, I need to have, John's going to come over," and then you tell John that. Same thing. Very nice thing. I am not at all interested. Not at all. So I'd like my gift. Well, no. And if they start getting belligerent, then you can get huffy. I mean, if they cut you down for what you don't love your family? Whoa. Now he's crossed the line, okay? So any time that anyone crosses a line, that's your ticket to jump on it. And you jump on it big. Nice, but firm. So, you don't need to put me down in this presentation. It is not going to get you anywhere. I now want out. I mean, you make that the reason why you're cutting it off, because he's given you a reason. So that's my recommendation. Take your prize, smile about it, tell all the people how for an hour and a half, 2 hours, you ended up with a whole weekend at some vacation or a show at Vegas, or I got 2 tickets to Disneyland once. 2 tickets to Disneyland at Peacock Suites, right there next to Disneyland, for a presentation. I'd do that in a heartbeat. So luckily I was single at the time, so I didn't have to have anyone else there. But okay, I'm luckier that I'm married. But if I was single, if I was married, I wouldn't have been able to get. Okay, I'm not going to be able to dig my way out of this, so I'm just going to stop the tape and wish you a great day, and try not to fall off this little small cliff behind me. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.